Babe, you're my best friend and partner in crime, who I love with all my heart. You are so beautiful and make loving you so effortless. I am forever grateful that God has blessed me with you in my life. When I think back to the first time we met, it cracks me up because I knew I wanted to talk to you. And I thought the best icebreaker was to convince you that Mason and I were twins. Crazy to think about, a little joke like that could have such an incredible impact on my life. I wouldn't trade that for anything. I vow to always love you unconditionally. I vow to support you in everything you do. I vow to help you get all of your needs, wants, and your wishes. I vow to continue growing our faiths together. I vow to always help you with simple math equations. I vow to lend a listening ear when you need to vent, and I vow to continue to grow and develop as a couple. I vow to cook dinner whenever you've had a hard day. I vow to drive home whenever you're tired. And finally, I vow to love you for who you are.
Austin, from the moment we met, it felt like a magnet was pulling us together. I am filled with joy and thankfulness to God for bringing me a man I did not deserve at a time where I needed it most. I should not have looked at you. At the time, the last thing I was looking for was a relationship. Please hold. Okay. I have to be able to see the words that I'm reading. Okay. At the time, the last thing I was looking for was a relationship. So you gave me one better, a friendship. You were patient most of the time. But looking back, you saw something I didn't, and I'm so glad you did, because if not, we wouldn't be standing here today. Like most little girls, I dreamed of what my husband would be like, that he would be handsome, smart, kind, and patient. Standing here today, I can tell you that you are so much more than I could have ever imagined. You have taught me how to be strong, independent, and how to truly and deeply love. You are my best friend, my better half, and my forever game-playing partner. Unless it's Monopoly, then you're calling your brothers. Oz, you have always been and will always be more than I could have ever asked for in a husband. Even as I am sitting here writing these, I struggle to find the words to tell you how much I truly love you and how much I appreciate our relationship. Because of this, I vow these things to you. I vow to pray for you every day. I vow to stand by you in sickness and in health. I vow to always motivate you to be your best self. I vow to always learn new ways to try to be the best wife and future mother for our family. I vow to always put God first in our marriage. I vow to stand by you and the Wolf Pack, even in the ups and downs of NC State sports. I vow to always be your +1 to Brad Paisley concerts. It's hard to believe our last one was 8 years ago. Our first one was 8 years ago. I vow to always encourage you to grow in your faith, and I ask you to do the same for me. I vow to always delight in the joys of easy living and be your rock when life gets hard. I vow to always dance with you in the kitchen while we cook together. I vow to always find new ways to love you, appreciate you, and pursue you. I vow to protect these promises we make today, and I promise to love you with my whole heart for our whole lives.
By virtue of the authority invested in me as a minister of the gospel, and by the power of the state of North Carolina, I now declare you, Austin, you, Kori, husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. All right, it is my great honor and pleasure to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Austin Poitras.